think the project came together initially through, I think, Eric Feig and Stokely Chaffin.
It started with me actually in the 5th grade when I was in, I think Mrs. Lamont was our librarian, and she found this book by Lois Duncan called I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I read it and thought I'd read Howard's End, you know? I mean, it was all about the secrets that can kill.
Just reading from the back of it, I love the idea that these kids had graduated high school and were going on to college. That's a moment in time in general that every kid can relate to.
So Eric took the book to Mandalay, to Jason Blumenthal, I believe, there.
I thought, my God, that would be a great idea for a movie.
And Eric came home and he was like, so I pitched your book today. And it was kind of like, well, that's great. And he was like, but they like it.
And they came at me basically saying, you know, we love what you did with the Scream script. What do you think about this?
He brought out very strongly the kind of moral beginning, this twist of fate at the beginning that really sets the whole movie up and makes it stand apart from most other teen genre movies.
I couldn't see it. Look, I swear.
Once these kids do the wrong thing, they're outside the system.
I think he's dead. Shit!
They don't have the umbrella of civilization society to help them. They can't call a cop and say, I'm being chased by some crazy killer because we left someone for dead on the side of a road and then dumped him in the ocean.
We've got to call the police and get an ambulance out here.
Hey, what's the hurry? Guy's dead.
You're not a doctor. You don't make that decision.
Use your brain, Julie. We call the police and we're fucked.
The key element in the whole casting process was finding actors who also look good because it is a movie and we have attractive people in our film, but they had to be great actors.
And it was very exciting because there was a whole batch of brand new teen actors who were coming onto the scene.
You had to find people who were popular because they were beautiful, but they were likable.
The first piece of casting we had was Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Guys, hi. I'm on sexist overload as it is. Kill the commentary.
She projects this sort of innocence and vulnerability that we really needed for that character.
I had always thought that she had a special talent.
When I wrote the character and then someone said, what about Jennifer Love Hewitt? I went, yes, without a doubt. She is the one.
This movie was such a huge opportunity for me. I'd never been able to, you know, be the lead in a film before. And the only thing that kind of people even really knew me from was Party of Five.
Who sent this?
They originally sent it to me for Sarah's character, which was interesting, which I liked. But as soon as I read Julie, I was like, and it had nothing, I swear, to do with like it being the lead character in the movie or anything, which people still to this day think. It had nothing to do with that. I honestly just liked Julie better and felt like I kind of identified with her better.
Don't you see? He's got us now. Okay, this is exactly what he wants. We can't go to the police. Not now. He's made sure of that.
She read the "What are you waiting for?" scene.
What are you waiting for, huh?
At the end of her reading, she also broke character and she laughed and she smiled and she looked right at camera and she said, I love doing that.
And if I was going to be in a horror movie, I wanted to get to play the part that won. You know, I really want, because that way I didn't have to be afraid, because I knew that I was going to get to kick some butt in the end and not have to die. And I promised my grandma I'd never die in a movie.
And it was really that smile and that giggle and that breaking in character that was so unbelievably endearing.
They really took a chance on me, and because of this movie, you know, the rest of my life has kind of gone the way that it has.
Did you guys break up?
Hey! What are you two doing here?
I loved Ryan. I thought he had just a natural thing.
Hi there.
I wanted him to play a part that is not really him. Ryan isn't a jock. He's physically not that. He has a great physique, but he's not 6'2". He's not a quarterback. He doesn't have that feel.
Ryan pulled it off in his performance.
You shut the hell up!
He played the imposing, you know, disgruntled, angry young guy so well.
We didn't murder anyone.
He was still alive when we dumped him in the water. Do we have to rehash this? It was an accident. The guy was in the middle of the road.
Ryan had to almost overcompensate in terms of his aggressiveness to be a domineering force against a bigger guy.
You're gonna die.
Hey! Stop it!
you doing?
Stop it!
I didn't do
Stop!
anything.
And then I wanted Freddie Prinze to be
Lying.
Ray. For Freddie, who is much more like Ray in reality. He's like a kind of everyman.
Look, he's after me too. I got a letter.
It's incredibly difficult to walk the tightrope between sort of thriller and comedy.
Oh, you got a letter. I got run over. Helen gets her hair chopped off. Julie gets a body in a trunk, and you get a letter? That's balanced.
What body?
Kevin is a kind of, he's a funny guy. He writes scenes that are based in reality, but people always joke with each other in any circumstance.
That's the balance between horror and humor. You really have to, you really have to sort of pick your moments.
It was down to the wire when we finally found Sarah Michelle Gellar, who, of course, was on Buffy, but Buffy was not very big at the time.
I wanted an actress that had a certain warmth within her, but could come off as being a bitch. When I saw her on camera, I thought, but she's it. She's absolutely it.
I'm breaking and entering to our crime spree. Can I help you?
One of the important things about casting the Missy part was that whoever the actor was who played that,
Hi. Our car stalled down the road and...
it was such a pivotal role, and she had to make it interesting and quirky.
Phone's over there.
It was very important to cast someone who would have such a presence in her two scenes that it would stumble the audience in terms of unfolding the story.
My name is Missy Egan. Are you girls from Maribel?
Oh, Southport.
Oh, I went to Southport High.
Yeah, I knew you looked familiar.
When we tested the film, she brought so much to that role that I had people believe that she was going to be the fisherman. And I was going, how could they possibly think that?
Did you have a brother or something?
I did,
But people believed that there was a potential there because of all the undercurrent that she brought to it.
He's dead. He died last July.
She's one of these actors that has real screen presence.
And I said, what do I do? And he said, well, you have to scare the pants off him.
Hey! You forgot your cigarettes.
I said, oh, fabulous, I'm there. Sure, 2 days of work, scaring some chicks. I love it.
And as soon as you put a camera on her, she's just really interesting and brings the best out of actors round about her.
Well, so you got this car started, didn't you? Yeah, I'm just thinking it started right up. Funny how that happens.
I mean, kids in malls saw me after that and were like, oh my God, I love you. And that was that's a funny reaction to get from kids after you've been, scaring them in the theaters. And that's due to Kevin and his writing.
But this was one of those screenplays where you started at the beginning and you just kept telling it. It was a really great read. And so I was hooked. And I thought, you know what, this is really cool. It's not a slasher horror movie. It's just a really good story.